lockdown in Abuja. Okay, before we go into that, I saw a picture now. I'm guessing and I'm hoping that this picture is not recent.
Okay, what's it about?
Because they do not look like people that, even if it looks like they definitely need to, it's an emergency, yeah, and they need to definitely get stuff done very fast.
Okay.
The way they are sitting, they don't look like there's anything wrong. Shouldn't they like those
No.
social distancing or something?
No, that must be an old
I'm sure
picture.
that's an old picture.
Because one of the stories
Definitely.
that I read today was that social distancing was observed, and you will find that eventually they even barred journalists from getting access into the complex. So
People
use filed photos.
Yeah, I just needed to clear that out first
for professional reasons. They are ideally supposed to say file photo or whatever, because you're not using a current picture, which could also mislead people to think that social distancing was not observed.
So anyway, looks like they've come, and then the Senate had definitely approved Mr. President's request.
Yes, it was speedy. It was speedily approved, and there is a problem. We have a problem.
Okay.
I'm not a financial expert, but all the indices point to the fact that we might end up in a financial crisis during this COVID-19 pandemic
and
after.
Okay.
And one of the things that experts are talking about is that funding is important. You need to fund different sectors of the economy. The oil and gas industry, which is driven majorly by bank loans and foreign investments, are already crying out. Oil has crashed. A barrel of oil now is laughable. You understand? So what it is that this might form part of a stimulus plan, but this is majorly the first part of the budget. Like you're talking about the budget 2020. But we need to start looking beyond the budget to a proper stimulus plan. Because
it don't look like that budget is feasible now.
Yes, a proper stimulus plan. People are concerned about palliatives. People want the immediate, the nickels and the dimes. The immediate, like you said. But government should be looking at funding subsectors of the economy. The entertainment industry. They need to pump funds into that sector. Pump funds into manufacturing. Pump funds, into agriculture, education, security, because this is what we need to stay abreast and stay afloat, or else it's really going to get really bad. And it's not looking nice with the fact that oil has dropped.
And I think that the issue with oil is because that's our main income. And it has really, really dropped. It's really dropped below any speculations that anybody has ever had.
Another thing that's affecting Nigeria and that will affect major parts of the world, especially third world countries or second world countries, is the repatriation of funds from abroad.
Okay.
A lot of Nigerians in diaspora send monies home.
Yeah.
A lot of them. So many Nigerians are based abroad. They send money home for investment purposes. They send money home to feed their friends and loved ones. Now, because of COVID-19, those funds have actually dried up.
Yeah.
And it plays a large chunk in the foreign currency that comes into the Nigerian economy.
True.
That's one angle that people are not even looking at. So all of this will culminate in something scary if government does not get proactive and start to nip it in the bud and work hard towards making sure that the Nigerian economy does not enter a full recession.
Yeah, that's so. And still on COVID-19, and speaking about money, looks like we're going all the way to Ekiti, as the Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi, and he's the chairman of the Governors Forum, has announced the immediate slash of salaries of all political appointees. The governor explained that this is part of his administration's effort to ensuring improved welfare for the people of Ekiti. According to him, the pay cut will, however, not affect Ekiti State civil servants' salaries.
Yes, they said political appointees, which is very clear. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think it's a good move. The cost of governance in Nigeria
It's a lot.
Is crazy.
It's a lot.
It's astronomical.
We don't need that waste at the moment.
And one of the reasons why it's like that is because politicians, in their bid to satisfy their supporters, end up creating a lot of political offices so that the dividends of democracy in a certain way trickles down to their people.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some governors that have special advisors on street lights. True story.
Some have like 400 and something aides, and you're like,
yeah.
How big is the state? Does the president even have that much?
That makes governance expensive. So for that instance, if someone like Kadi Fayemi, the current governor of Ekiti, does something like that, I hope the other governors will borrow from this. And this, like we've been saying, the COVID-19 is a reset button.
Yes,
because
it does.
Well, this is what if I was the governor,
they are not going back to their.
This is what I'm going to say. That this is what it is. This is the new reality. That if I can pay you, say for instance, I'm supposed to pay you 300,000 naira a month as a political appointee, and I have to slash it by 50%, and you're 150. Why do I have to take it back to 300,000
again
after the pandemic?
Survived.
I can always take that 50%
to always do something else for the state.
Into education, plug it into health.
Exactly, you know? Exactly.
At the end of this year, every state in Nigeria should have a molecular lab.
Yes.
Every state in Nigeria should have at least 4 isolation centers.
Exactly.
At the end of this year, ICUs in every state should be top notch. Bed space for subsequent pandemics, which will still be a part of life as long as people are cooking up things in the lab, should not hit us like this again. We should be able to say, you know what, we have a standard viral containment facility that can take a minimum of 1,000 beds per state. If you have 1,000 bed containment centers or isolation centers, you're talking about 36,000 in Nigeria already before you start to use stadiums and other public facilities. You know, so let them cut down on the overhead that goes to political appointees. And we know that because of the way Nigerian politics is played, these appointees are also important. Some of them are foot soldiers. Some of them have contributed one way or the other towards the victory of, you know, the governors. Some of them are recommended to the governors by political associates, and some of them are just party members. So let them cut down and let it not just be in the Ekiti state. Let it continue.
Let it continue, yeah. And I think it should even start from the federal. So still talking about states,
yes,
we're going all the way to Rivers State.
All right.
And the Rivers Police Command has withdrawn all its personnel attached to the task force on road decongestion, illegal street trading, and motor parks set up by Governor Nyesom Wike. And his name is so Nyesom.
It's a very unique name.
Nyesom. Why do I keep saying that? Anyways, the officers were withdrawn after the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Joseph Mukan, led other senior officers and men to visit the family of the late thermal police sergeant Lovenda Elekwachi, who was shot dead on duty at Eneka Obiako local government area of the state. Spokesman of the command, DSP Inamdi Omoni, confirmed the development in an interview with newsmen at the command's headquarters in Moscow Road, Port Harcourt. Omoni said the withdrawal will enable the Commissioner of Police to adequately review the deployment before deploying any officer to such operation to avoid a repeat of what led to the untimely killing of the female police sergeant. It has also been said that the police officer that shot her, which I'm not even sure about what happened in that scenario, why the police officer is shooting another police officer. Anyways, but it has been said that he has been dismissed as you cannot. I just found out too that you actually cannot charge a police officer to court until he's dismissed.
They usually become civilians, then.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought that you could just.
That's always the first step.
Oh, okay. So now he has been dismissed, and then the CPA had said that now that he's been dismissed and he's been charged to court, it's left for the court to do that. That's all. That's the highest
it's in the hand of the judiciary now. If it was a military person, it would be.
Be court-martialed.
Court-martialed and all of that. They have their own legal system in the military, but because the police is paramilitary.
So the highest they can do is dismiss him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they now have to subject him to the judiciary.
Okay. So please, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What really happened? Because I tried reading it. I'm not sure I understand the scenario.
To be honest with you, I don't know myself, because this is one of the things that people have been complaining about that has happened to regular citizens. When I say regular, I do not mean it with disrespect. I mean civilians like you and myself who have been at the receiving end of this. This is now a very sad one. It now happens that a policeman has shot a policewoman.
I still don't understand how that works.
A very young child to take, or who had, because she's gone now. You know, a family woman for that matter. All in the name of working in a task force that is enforcing one movement or the other. There's something called professional courtesy. Even if you feel your colleague is out of line, should you resort to,
even whatever it is,
in the rules of engagement, you do not shoot people.
You don't even shoot civilians. Talk less of a fellow policeman. Like I still don't get the idea behind it though. But so, anyways.
This is a serious matter, because what it now means is that the task force that's supposed to be enforcing, all of those things will be without the police. So what does the governor do? Does he go to the army now to ask, or the navy?
But you can't do those things. They're not state.
No, you can actually make a request.
For the army to, but the first thing is, you have to go back to the police force.
No, there is the Rapid Response Squad that is made up of police and military. They are in existence already. They are Operation Swift, Operation this and Operation that had military and police working. So it's not a new thing. But if he still wants to enforce this work that the task force is doing, it's either he goes back to the IG of police to have a sit down.
Exactly. I think that's what the commissioner is saying. Like, let's sit down and let's break it down. How is this supposed to work?
Or go to the military and say, we cannot afford a breakdown of law and order. At least they're not saying that they're withdrawing their services from River State. They're just saying that this particular task force will have no police personnel on it. So what they need to do, what the governor of River State will need to do, is to talk to the IG of police and clear the air, or pending while they do that, reach out to the military and say, we need to have your guys at least as a stopgap pending when we sort out things with the police, which also leads us to the issue of state police that a lot of people have been
going on about.
Talking about that. Like, for instance, if there was the regional corps that people were about to set up before COVID-19 started, it probably won't feel the pinch much, because all those guys will slot in naturally into this position.
Into these things,
just like when people were talking about these gangs terrorizing people in Lagos and Ogun State during the lockdown.
All of a sudden, you just didn't really hear anything about it. It just died down.
Yeah, because, because the police stepped up their game. The communities also did not sleep. They did not rest on their paws.
Definitely.
People were out there playing vigilante, on a nightly basis. Stay out all night and go sleep during the day and all of that. So what some people started putting, oh, where's the Amotekun? Where's that? No, that's not how it works. They would not go and put up people suddenly without setting up Amotekun
properly, so that we don't have issues like this. Everything is better that even if we already have issues maybe with the police or anything new that is coming should be set properly so that we don't have an extra issue on our hands.
But we're glossing over an important problem.
Okay. Which is?
We're talking about the rules of engagement.
Yeah.
What would make a policeman whose job is to serve and protect pick his gun and shoot at people willy-nilly?
See, even...
And right now, we're more concerned about if they're pulling out of the tax laws or not. But the root cause of this matter is the fact that someone felt it was empowered by law to kill another human being.
I don't think even the Inspector General of Police is, would I say, allowed to shoot another officer. Talk less of
it shouldn't be.
Like, what exactly would you say was wrong with you? Like, what's the plan? What were you thinking? I don't get it. I tried to
wrap
my head around it, but I don't know whatever was going on. At times, if you say these things a lot, people will say he probably has some PTSD and has all sorts of things, and we know how to give names, excuses to these things. But the problem still remains that somebody died, somebody lost his wife, somebody lost his or her mother, somebody lost their daughter, just because somebody decided to be irresponsible.
Now, still on the same matter, but just linking it to something we discussed earlier when we talked about documents being leaked out of the presidency. This same matter is until several people who have committed these crimes are dealt with by law.
Properly, yes.
And people see it will serve as a deterrent.
Yeah.
You hear of these kind of cases should not drag for years.
No.
It shouldn't drag for months. It should be expedited.
It should be.
This is what lawyers will call an open and short case in most cases.
It's pretty straightforward.
But we all know that now this person will be in prison awaiting trial for God knows how long. Until another man picks his gun or another woman picks her gun and does the same thing. Again. That's when we start to remember this case and the one in Lagos and the one in Abuja and the one in Kano and the one in Benue. We hope that the judiciary will step up its game and bring some of these people to book.
Definitely. We hope so.
Let it serve as a deterrent.
Let's move a little bit to another state up east. Yeah, and it's in Akwa Ibom. The Akwa Ibom governor has rejected random testing.
Okay.
Says that it's an absolute waste of resources.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
I don't know. At times when I hear things coming out of Akwa Ibom, I'm like, what are you guys hiding? Like, what are you afraid of? What is wrong with random testing? I feel that for us to even open up our economy, we're supposed to set a test target to say Nigeria needs to test 20,000 people, 50,000, 100,000 people. Then from
2 million people, 10 million people.
From that, we can now calculate and say, okay, based on this, based on the lockdown, based on all of this, these are our projections. These are the epicenters, because Lagos being an epicenter would also have an epicenter within the epicenter.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, okay, maybe it's Victoria Island. Maybe it's Ajelogo. We need all of these statistics before this lockdown finally ends. But of course, we don't have it. We have tested over 10,000 cases. Most other African countries who we regard as fellow African countries, brothers, in the race, they've done
much more,
hundreds of thousands of testing.
Definitely. I think that we took up a little too late.
We started late, then again and again, we are politicizing issues.
Yes. Yes.
Why would a governor say he feels random? There's nothing wrong with it because it's a multi-pronged approach. It's not a single approach.
Yeah, you're catching it so that anybody, just anybody, and the problem is not even the person that is infected. Is the problem? The major problem is this person transferring it to the next person.
So we have the first system that the NCDC, the Federal Ministry of Health in Nigeria has adopted, which is targeted testing. Those are my own words. Because they are targeting people who are
exposed, yeah.
People who have a history of travel, or people who have a history of being in contact with those people.
So that have traveled, yes.
Then, when they moved into the community, they do test the friends, family, or people exposed to the vector. So, if you now adopt a random testing system, it makes it better. Which means while you are focusing on contact tracing,
there's no, let's not put that whatever system it is that we put in place is, it will not be perfect. It will not be 100%. It is.
I saw a video from Ogun State in Nigeria where they have a drive-through test center.
I saw that.
And the people doing the swabs are in a box, a glass box. They are protected, with their rubber gloves and everything.
So people just go in there, get tested, and that's it.
That's fantastic thing.
I think it's fantastic. That's the easiest way to curb this thing, to catch everybody and everything that has been there, because that has been infected.
If you know that you've been tested and you're negative, you would at least know how to conduct yourself. You would at least know how to practice social distancing, because you don't want to go for another test and another test every time you think you have exposed or you have compromised your health.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Governor of Akwa Ibom has a
I have no idea, but I think two governors that are doing really well for themselves is Ogun State and Lagos State. They're really, really, really doing well for themselves. And we're going all the way to them now. The NDC has announced that 2 new laboratories now, one in Lagos and one in Ogun State.
Fantastic.
I think it's fantastic. It is fantastic. Now they have multiple labs now, meaning that they can test more. Not testing. They can carry out their tests faster, and it makes work faster. It means that you're having samples and specimen.
What Lagos had done is to decentralize the testing.
Yes.
So they created sample collection centers in all the local government areas and local council areas. Then they are decentralizing the labs
itself, yeah.
Which means increased capacity in testing. So if Lagos can step up her game and go from 400 to 500, 600 tests a day to 2,000 or 3,000, when order back, I can contain 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It won't be a bad idea. It won't be a bad idea.
It would not.
When a state that has a population of within 25 to 32 million, it's not a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
So kudos to those two governors. And like I said, at the end of this year, every state should have this kind of things in place, because not only
whether we like it or not,
would they be useful. Not only would they be useful for pandemics like coronaviruses and the entire coronavirus family. We always have a breakout of Lassa fever. Ebola is always knocking on the door at some point. And I have a very, very strong belief, like we were analyzing, and now facts are showing that COVID-19 had probably entered America as far back as January.
Wow.
Now they are going back to check people who, some bodies that have passed on, some people who have passed on in January, because the symptoms and everything is pointing to that. And it's looking like it's true. So, and I'm also of the belief that in some parts of Nigeria, Lagos inclusive, before we even thought of shutting down the borders, before we thought of setting up or reactivating the disease control center in Yaba, some people have brought that thing into Nigeria.
Very possible.
If you don't test, you will not find out.
You won't find out. It's very, 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 very possible. And speaking of testing, we're going all the way to Kano State.
Let's go there. It's important that we do.
And for the past 1-2 weeks now, Kano State has really been in the news, starting with their test labs being contaminated, so they haven't gotten testing. We heard yesterday that they finally back to testing, and we're keeping our fingers crossed with the kind of numbers that are probably going to come out today. We don't know about that yet, but let's hope. Let's hope something miraculous happens. But also, there's been talks of people, hundreds of people, literally dropping dead.
Yeah.
A lot of prominent people dropping
As of today,
dead.
more people have died.
More people have died. Now, it's almost like 1,000 now. Last figure that I followed was 600 or something people. And according to the Commission of Health, they're saying it's malaria or typhoid. I don't know what kind of malaria or typhoid it is. And then they went on to say that because of their religion, they're not supposed to do autopsy, and they're doing verbal autopsies. That's when they found out that. But I did not think that in the Nigeria of today, people drop dead like that number in such a very short time in just because of malaria or typhoid. Because I remember having some similar discussion with someone about a week or two ago. This whole lockdown thing, that the person was like, that because they're not doing a lot of testing, how do they know people? And this was Lagos, yeah. How do they know that people are just not dying? And I'm like that. Whether people are dying or not, if a number of people, no matter the kind of testing or lack of testing you're doing, if a large chunk of people die in a very short period of time, you can't hide it.
No, you can't.
If your mortuaries would say, your numbers would always show, which is why I feel that, okay, because the person was like that, are we sure that numbers that Lagos State is reading out is true and everything? And I said, these numbers, you can't lie. There are some things that you can't lie about. People cannot just be literally dropping dead. And that, for example, nobody even knew that Kano was going to come out like this, which is what still comes back to the fact that Kano State, people just literally drop dead, and you're claiming that it's malaria or typhoid. And religion or not, let's even say it's not COVID-1, let's even say it's not COVID-19, whatever it is, let's even say it's malaria, that's a different strain of malaria. Whatever it is that is killing these people in a short period of time, shouldn't you do tests, carry out? Maybe you're even dealing with another form of pandemic on our hands. We don't even know.
It's possible. It's possible because when the coronavirus, which is now named, this strain that is named COVID-19, hit Wuhan late last year, it was the same trend, Before they caught onto it or decided to at least catch onto it, people were just literally dropping dead. People were dying, and they all had similar causes of death, So you never can tell when something new hits.
Exactly.
Or if it's this same one that has mutated and is now affecting. Because, like we said, a lot of people have this erroneous belief that, there's no coronavirus in their state. There's no coronavirus in their state. There's no coronavirus in their city. There's no coronavirus on their streets or in their estate. You're only saying that because you've not tested everybody. And now that tests have been done, we're getting those results that are showing us.
That's the scary part with me.
And it's a global village. Nigerians move around.
No, let's look at it. It's even whether we like it or not. This issue of COVID has already shown that the world is a very small place. You can imagine COVID moved all the way from Wuhan and got to Osun State, got to Kano State, got to Abuja. That alone, and this happened in like less than 3 months. That alone shows us that
it's a global village. And also taking a look at things in the same Kano. If it wasn't for COVID-19, they're not going to look at the Almajiri problem.
Yeah.
And now, the governor of Kaduna reported that some Almajiris were deported.
About 5 of them
were deported to Kaduna, and of the number that was sent to them, I don't have the exact figures, 5 of them tested positive to COVID-19. And the Almajiri system is centered around communal living.
Yeah.
They're always huddled up together, they eat together, sleep together, they live together, and when 5 of a certain number have it, what do you think? Now these same people are now being deported across Nigeria.
Yeah, that's not a very...
Which also goes to show that why were they all in Kano in the first place? Where they were trapped, and now they now know their states of origin. So why were they in Kano?
Why did it take this long? Why didn't everybody just...
And if you can dismantle the system because of this pandemic, do we really still need
the system in the first place? I'm kind of happy. I know that I think a few days ago you were talking about how the world and our country and everybody is not going to remain the same. A lot of things are going to change. E.g. now we're looking at it, the Almajiri system in itself. With this COVID issue, there's basically almost not going to be anything like that anymore, the way it's going. And I'm speaking of, still talking a little bit about Kano. We have a little hilarious topic here. It's kind of laughable though.
All right.
I think it's kind of laughable. But it's news anyway, so let's go with it. So please don't laugh.
Okay.
It's just gist. Let's just take it like that. The Murik, that's a Muslim something. Please can you do you know what they mean?
Don't worry.
We all know what Murik is here. Says that Kano's death is a part of a plan to reduce the Muslim population in Nigeria.
Kano's
death.
Wait. You need to say it again.
You know the Murik set of people, yeah?
I think I do.
Mm-hmm. They said that the deaths that are happening in Kano is part of a plan to reduce the Muslim population in Nigeria.
Murik will never cease to...
I think they like being in the news.
Yeah,
I think so. I think they like being in the news.
You wonder how these people are wired, like, you know...
And you know,
what's
a lot of them seem to be educated.
I like the word "sing" though. It's one of my favorite words today. Sing, you know. So wait, they got this virus, and they started looking at people's addresses and saying, "Oh, this person lives in this house. This person is a Muslim. Inject him, or spray it into his house, or cough into it." I don't get the stupidity behind this.
To be honest with you, they're looking like these people are close to a terrorist set of human beings because it seems like they always like to cause panic and cause some sort of unrest and all sorts of things, which I don't get. Like, I just do not get.
COVID-19 has killed Christians in Italy, has killed Muslims in Spain and Italy, in Iran, you know, in Saudi Arabia, in Israel, in America, in Nigeria.
Wow.
It does not discriminate. It has killed the rich, it has killed the poor. Men, in fact, the discrimination about COVID is that men are more...
Yeah, they say that about 70% of men
are susceptible
to COVID than
females. So maybe men should come out. Is there a men's group somewhere that can help us come and shout that It's a plan by women to reduce the male population of the world. Come on, guys. You do not have to talk every time. If you don't have anything that has sense to say, please don't say anything at all.
So let's move quickly to another funny issue before we have a little bit news about sports.
All right.
There are pictures that's been going around.
Yeah.
About one of our favorite pastors is on the mountain, and he has also refused. There are claims that he has refused to eat until the
coronavirus.
Yes.
Fantastic. Going on a hunger strike is a thing that.
Why did you say hunger strike? It's supposed to be fasting. I don't like the word hunger strike.
No. You said he has refused to eat. You did not say he was fasting.
That's
what you said. No.
He's supposed to be fasting.
No. You can't put words in my mouth. You cannot put words in my mouth. You said
he's supposed to be fasting.
Why is he supposed? Is either fasting or not fasting?
You said it.
I don't.
You don't?
No, you're on your own. I don't. You said that he has refused to eat. And that's what I was reacting to.
Baby.
So if you want to rephrase, you have the opportunity to rephrase to say, oh,
he's allegedly fasting.
Don't allege.
He's alleged because I'm not there.
No.
When somebody
you have not used that word today.
If somebody
for so many other things that we have discussed.
No, if something happens to somebody, or maybe somebody commits an offense, they tell us that it's alleged until the court. So we don't know. It's alleged.
Is fasting a crime?
It's not a crime, but I don't know for sure. So it's allegedly.
I would respectfully move that you remove.
No.
That means you are so biased against him.
I'm not.
Trust. It's glaring. It's not allegedly. No. Your first set, your choice of words. The first thing you said was he has refused to eat. Then I responded to that. Then you now said I was no. I will not be drawn into this. You said to me that he refused to eat.
When you're fasting, don't you refuse to eat?
No. The way you said it.
Oh my God. The way I said it. Is that the way I said it now? Oh my God.
So.
Is that the way I said it?
I actually feel that we need all the prayers we can get.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to pray should pray.
Prayers are not too
Those
much here.
Who are working towards creating a vaccine,
please go ahead.
They are working on it. Those who are working towards a cure. Because people need to understand that getting the cure and the vaccine are two different things.
Yeah.
They are working on it. However, COVID-19 has also come to expose too many people, especially religious bigots.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially pastors who have shown us through the years that they are in the healing ministry.
Really. And I'm the one that is biased to
I am choosing my words carefully.
I am the one that is biased to somebody.
No, this particular one you do.
People can hear and see you, and I'm the one that's biased.
This particular one you have a bias.
And I'm the one that's biased.
This particular matter you.
I won't say anything, but I'm the one that's
biased. However, based on the facts of COVID-19, I would advise anybody that is fasting to go and eat.
Anyways,
we don't want any untimely deaths.
We already have
because if that person now dies from refusing to eat, it's another COVID-19 death. Because it's because of COVID that the person was refusing to eat.
I have nothing to say to you.
I'm just saying.
Anyways,
so if since this thing started, and we know that COVID-19 has popped up in private hospitals in different parts of Nigeria, has popped up in the designated isolation centers. The Kano Stadium is there. A 500-bed temporary facility was set up there. The Onikon Stadium with at least 110 or 120 beds. Yaba, Mainland, the Landmark Center, Luth, and no pastor has gone there to heal at least one person. Please. Stay safe. Stay at home. Forget all this drama. You say it's not the only one. There's another one that.
Please. Our time is fast spent.
So yesterday, Luke showed us the team that worked on a mother who had COVID-19, and the child was delivered successfully yesterday.
Wow.
They tweeted a picture of the team. They were all looking like Ghostbusters and all. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to the doctors and the nurses.
They're the ones
the
that
lab technicians, the cleaners, the drivers, everybody working in the front line. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
You are the real MVPs.
Definitely. And quickly before we leave, there's been just in the world of sports, there's been, of course, a lot of things have been shut down, and now leagues are being cancelled. Earlier we heard that the Belgian Pro League has been cancelled. The Eredivisie has been cancelled.
That's Netherlands.
The League One has also been cancelled.
And now Liverpool
people are now asking, like, who's next?
You see, when we started last week, and I said this might be a trend.
Yeah.
When Belgium got cancelled, I said, the next thing is Netherlands. Now, France.
Yeah, France.
France and England share a common border.
Oh my God.
Liverpool,
yeah.
Who una offend? Because I actually want them to win.
But even the funny thing is that even if they are lost all the other matches and they are forfeited, they will still have won. So why not just give them the cup?
Well, there are talks of the league resuming in June.
Okay.
Because Arsenal started training yesterday.
Yeah.
Tottenham started training today.
So we'll see how that
England
works.
will be resilient.
Will be different.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works. And looks like that's all we'll be able to take today on the Boom Bar. It's actually been fun. It's been interesting. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. To everybody listening, to everybody watching us, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we'll be back again with another wonderful, plenty gist, plenty booze.
Because it's a bar.
Drink and whatever. And it's a bar, Since you can't go out, you can as well just be here, have your drink with you, and then just enjoy the gist with us.